YouTube, hey YouTube,
Hello.
You should be live on YouTube, hopefully, maybe, kind of.
Hello, I am Tara.
And Facebook.
Hello, I am Tara, the author of the Dining on a Dime Cookbook. Volume 2 is pre-ordering.
Woo!
Now, it only took me 20 years to write it. Kind of got a little sidetracked with 4 kids on this one. Dining on a Dime Cookbook, 30% off right now. 30% off right now until Thursday for our pre-ordering sale. 30% off.
A few days then.
Yes, and also for those of you who have asked me a ton, I keep getting questions. Our Get It Together People Planner is also up for sale. livingonadime.com. I only have 150 big ones. This is the small cover. This is just my demo. And I have 250, I think, 200 or 250 small planners. That's all we're printing at the moment. If we sell out, then we might reprint, but we'll see. All right, today we are making chicken curry. It is in Dining on a Dime Cookbook Volume 2. Volume 2 right there. You can order today. This is a new favorite recipe of mine. It is not an old family favorite.
This recipe is an old family favorite?
Yeah, no, it's not, I said.
Oh, okay.
It is one that Mike and Ellie tried when they were in London, I think.
Oh, in Ireland.
Oh, Ireland.
In Coleraine.
And then I tried it on Ellie and I's trip, and I really liked it, and I was like, ooh, I love that. So that is my new favorite recipe. Okay, so what you're going to do, Dave, is you're going to cut up your chicken into little 1-inch pieces, give or take, ½ inch, it doesn't really matter. Now, I cut my chicken when it is semi-frozen. So this chicken I put out an hour ago in my non-stick pan. Non-stick pans, in case you guys don't know, help defrost chicken really quick. And so I threw it in my non-stick pan and did that. So we're cutting that up. Okay. Getting my pan heated over here, which is going kind of slow. I should do this on the regular stovetop, but I wanted you guys to be able to see it a little bit easier. This pan does go slower. This heating element goes slower, I should say. All right, there we go. So once again, easy chicken curry recipe. This is one of the most delicious chicken curry recipes that you can have. I tweaked it, as I always do my recipes, because I can't say that I have found any recipes from anywhere that I haven't tweaked, because you can always make them easier or cheaper or something. All right, now I don't know why this isn't going so quick, but let's dump that extra water out there. And I'm going to dry that also. Let me put that towel out of the way so we don't have chicken juice all over everything. Okay, so now I have my oil, just regular vegetable oil, whatever kind of oil you want. Yes?
Yeah, she's actually using avocado oil.
Yes.
Yes.
Why?
No, I'm not.
Is that bad?
No, just as a side note.
Oh, I just like avocado oil. I've noticed some oils like avocado and real butter make me feel more full, so I try to use those for my cooking when I can. Margarine is fine. You can use that if you want. Vegetable oil is fine. Sunflower, coconut, whatever. Okay, so let me get this out of the way.
Here's all the cut up stuff.
Oh, shoot. Okay, excuse me, momento, por favor. Forgot to do my onion. Okay, so I'll do my onion here real quick too. Now, this recipe is in the description below. If you guys have questions, please post them to Mike in the comments and he will read them to me. Okay. Okay, this is really taking a long time. What is the deal here?
Doesn't sound like it's warming up.
Well, it's hot, but it's barely hot. I wonder if our...
Well, burners bought the farm.
I think our burner bit the farm. Okay, so I won't be making it over here for you now. Oh, and here's a little tip I forgot to tell you. Put a non-slip jar opener. This is just a piece of shelf liner. But put a piece of non-slip something under your bowls and your cutting boards when you are cutting or stirring something, and then they won't slide around. There's a little tip. Would you like a glass of sweet tea, my sweetness?
Oh, sure.
I did a video on sweet tea today. Who makes the best sweet tea in the whole wide world? Okay, so got my onion right here. Okay, so I'm just going to cut that up just straight into my pan. Just like so. Now, if you want to use fresh garlic, you can use fresh garlic. That's fine. I just don't happen to have any minced garlic on hand. So just do whatever you want. All right. Now, a little tip on cutting onions. If you store them in the refrigerator and they're cold when you cut them, you won't tear up. The gases fall down. Dave told me that little tip. I didn't know that.
Ross says, hello, Tara from sunny California.
Hi. All right.
Everyone's saying hi.
Hello, everyone. Okay. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to sprinkle it with some seasoned salt. This is just my homemade seasoned salt. Dining on a Dime, Volume 1, livingonadime.com. Just type in seasoned salt in the search bar and you can find it. Okay, so I'm going to liberally sprinkle that with seasoned salt. Now,
and for those of you asking, yes, Dining on a Dime Volume 2 is the new one. Volume 1 is the same book, just a slightly newer version, but it has the same recipes as the original. Volume 2 is all new, so just trying
all
to
new
reduce the confusion there. We just figured if we had a Volume 2 that we should have a Volume 1. So.
Yes. So Dining on a Dime Volume 2, 800 recipes and tips. Dining on a Dime Volume 1, 1,200 recipes and tips. Right there. And for those of you that missed it, you can pre-order our planners for 2021 now. Okay? For those of you that missed it right there. All right. Now, just to cut down on some of the noise. Now, the recipe calls for spinach, and I didn't have any on hand, so I'm just going to leave it out. But it also calls for tomato paste. Now, if you don't have tomato paste, don't worry about it. You can put it in there if you want, but you don't have to. Now, what I do is I just take a can of diced tomatoes, and I usually just put that in. It calls for 1 can of diced tomatoes and tomato paste if you want. Where's my coconut milk? Oh dear. Dave, can you go get me the coconut milk, please? It's on the shelf that has the crackers.
What?
On the shelf that has the crackers, a can of coconut milk. It should be like this right in the middle, I think. Oh no, do I have coconut milk?
Oh my.
Yes, okay.
I was going to say, you better not, girl.
I thought I bought it. I was like, but then I just had a moment. Okay.
You need your grocery shopping fairy to call you and ask if you need anything.
I know. Okay. Now, here's something you guys are just gonna have a cow about, but these tomatoes I'm using, right there, expiration date, 2013. Gasp! Oh no! Oh, you're food poisoning your family. But you will notice the can is not dented. It's not bulging on the ends. It should be fine. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a peek and see.
And for those of you asking, we're making chicken curry, and I'm sharing the recipe again, but it is in the description as well.
Yep.
This is from the new Dining on a Dime version,
Volume 2.
Volume 2.
Now, when you're using older canned goods, make sure they're not bulging or dented or anything like that. This isn't. I open it, it smells just fine. Doesn't smell anything wrong, okay? Now, the coconut milk you want to use is just regular coconut milk in the can. Now, I prefer the full fat, not the light.
So somebody had asked, wanted to ask if there were different types of coconut milk. So there
Yes. So that's what I was just getting ready to explain. So I prefer the full fat. It gives more flavor. Oops, sorry. The fat helps you stay full. I just prefer it. Now, if you're on a diet, of course, use light if you want. Now, several coconut milks. So this one is coconut milk, water, and guar gum, which is just a stabilizer filler to make it thicker. But this one has 11 grams of fat for each serving. So if you compare the cans, if you're wanting to know, well, which one has full fat, which doesn't. First of all, it'll say light on the front. You don't want coconut water. You want coconut milk. But the other thing is, look at the fat content. The higher the fat content, the more fat solids you have in there. And they will be, I don't know if you can see, you can't really see because it's warm in here, but the fat will be at the top.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can. So can you see how thick that is? That's the fat at the top, okay? Now, different brands of coconut milk can taste different. So if you get one and you don't like the flavor, just get a different one and try it, okay? The other thing is, you don't have to use coconut milk. Now, I got this tip at the farmer's market when I first found curry at a farmer's market in Pennsylvania with our good friend Bee, who we love. Hi, Bee. She took me to her local farmer's market, and he said use whipping cream instead of coconut milk, and it tastes a lot better. I'm dairy-free, so we use coconut milk, but whipping cream is a very good alternative also, okay? All right, now.
So Rita wants to know, what section of the store would you find the coconut milk? Or did you say that already? What?
Asian.
Ah, it would be an Asian food section, Tara said.
Okay, so now you're gonna brown your chicken and your onions. Okay, see how that's getting nice and brown just like that?
Yep.
You guys see that? Okay, so you're gonna brown that. Now the other thing is, okay, we're pretty much there. Let me just give it just a titch more. The other thing is, you can use rotisserie chicken in this. And what I do is I just cut up the leftover chicken, put some oil in and brown it, and then use it that way. And your chicken's already pre-cooked. Or my little packets that I make in the little, when I like if I have leftover chicken or turkey or whatever and I freeze them for meals later, that's how I do it, okay? All right, now, I'm pulling part of this out because I have some people that seem to think that they don't like curry, which is fine, leaves more for the rest of us. Okay. Then, let me see, how should I do this? So let me pull this over here. Can you come over here, Dave?
So it's less yellow than your usual, or you're not done with it yet?
I'm not done with
Oh,
it.
you're not done with it. Okay.
You're getting ahead of me.
I guess I am getting ahead of you.
Okay. Got my cooked chicken and my onions. Okay, pour it in my coconut milk right there. Pouring in my tomatoes right here. Then we're going to add, if you want, cayenne pepper to taste however much you want. This recipe is in the description below. I already seasoned, salted, and your curry powder. Now, I got a great big one because I really like this, and so I will use this a lot. Normally, I don't get my spices in that big of a, you know, whatever, container. All right, and then you're just gonna stir all this around. Okay, we're coming back over here, Dave. And we're gonna let it thicken for just 2 or 3, 4 or 5 minutes, however long it takes on your stove.
You're right. Wanda, yes, curry is usually spicy. I mean, you can vary the amount of spice.
Yeah.
You make it kind of moderately spicy, right?
Yeah, you can get mild curry. You can get hot curry. Curry is a combination of spices. And it is Indian, like from India, Indian. And so it's really delicious.
That's why I think it's funny that when Ellie and I first had it, we were in
Ireland.
Northern Ireland.
Which is hilarious.
And then we had it in Scotland. Like, man, Ireland and Scotland make great Indian food.
Okay, that's pretty good. Needs a little bit more salt.
The funny thing is, we were on the airplane with, we were on British Airways, and the steward on the plane, the way he asked us if we'd like the curry or something else, he had this expression on his face that seemed to say, the curry is awful. And I had never had it before, but wow, when we had it in Ireland, it was awesome. And then in Glasgow, we stayed across the street from a restaurant, so we went there twice.
Okay,
Ooh.
so I'm just going to let it boil down just a little bit. Now, if it's too thin, just take a little bit of cornstarch and water and put it in there and thicken it up. It's no big deal.
And doesn't Dining 2 also has the non-flatbread, right?
Yes. Yeah, Dining Volume 2 has the non-flatbread, 2 ingredient.
It's really delish. Did you make it on the show recently, or was that?
No, that was when I
After
was
the-
testing recipes.
No.
Okay. Now, I'm going to thicken mine. Holy cow, what happened here? I'm going to thicken mine with a little bit of cornstarch water just because I can. So all I'm doing is just taking a little bit of water with some cornstarch. This goes for anything, guys. If you need to thicken anything, just put a little bit of cornstarch in there. It's almost thick, but I like mine thicker, so. All right. And then you can see it just thickening right up. Just like so. Oh my goodness. Oh, yum. Holy cow, this smells so good. There we go. Get all that cornstarch mixed in. And there you have it. Now, you're going to take some rice.
Angie says there's Indian curry and Jamaican curry, and she uses both. I can only imagine.
Is this rice fresh? Oh, yeah. Okay. I had a moment there where I was like, oh no, I hope this rice is fresh.
Do you know what brand of curry you have?
This is just the McCormick's. It's not anything fancy. I just went on Amazon and got the one that was rated the highest, to be honest. Okay. So then, now, like I said, if you have spinach, you can put it in there. I didn't have it.
Oh man, that looks good.
There you go. Super easy, guys. Super, super easy. Now, are you ready to taste test?
Yes, I am.
If we can do this without burning your mouth. If you guys have questions, go ahead and leave them in the description below. This recipe is in the description below. Also, guys, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you know when we get new videos, because guess what? Wednesday's our last show for a long time.
What?
So,
you shouldn't say it that way. It sounds like forever.
we're letting you guys know ahead of time. We are going to be taking a break. We're going to keep doing taped videos, but we're not going to be doing the live videos.
You didn't warm the rice.
No, I didn't.
The curry's great.
Is the rice really cold?
It's crunchy because it's cold.
It's crunchy.
That curry's really good though.
Holy cow, that's really good. We are not going to be on. Wednesday will be our last show until August or September. We haven't decided yet. At least August, but maybe September.
Oh,
all right.
See, I'm the first one to know. I mean, I'm not the first one.
It's supposed to be 100 degrees today, so I have my favorite summer mug right here. Every day I'm like, oh man, why is it so hot? Ellie's like, Mom, every year in July, you complain about how hot it is. And every year it's July. What do you expect?
I think Tara was originally talking about being gone for about a month from the live stuff, but still doing some other things. But she's been feeling well lately and kind of trying to stand down through some of the summer.
So I'm gonna do taped videos, and I have some already done with Mom.
No, Melissa, that's not stopping forever. It's just taking a break.
Maybe. We'll see.
Depends on if you want to move away to the mountains and disappear forever or not.
Depends on if we want to move to the mountains and disappear or not. We found a piece of land with an old log cabin on it this weekend that we missed out on. We were like, oh man, we could be off grid in the mountains on 10 acres.
But we will still be back this Wednesday though, so it's not till after this week that we'll be taking.
So we're gonna be here Wednesday, and then after Wednesday, we are gonna take off at least through August and possibly through September. We will still keep doing videos, so be sure to hit that subscribe and notification bell so that you can get them. So yeah, so we are doing that. I'm just telling you now because I know we're gonna get comment after comment. What happened to your live shows? So that's what it is. Okay.
So wait, Nancy wants to know, do you ever use gluten-free flour to thicken this? She said because she has family members that can't have the cornstarch.
Arrowroot would be better than gluten-free flour. Gluten-free flour isn't really flour, so that's the problem, but you could use arrowroot. I have a big bag of arrowroot, and usually that's what I use.
And somebody earlier asked if you could use something besides chicken. Like she was wondering if it would be good with tofu, although we don't really eat tofu. Ellie
I have
does.
no idea.
But
you can
the
try
sauce,
it.
the sauce would be the same, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
just don't
it'd
know.
probably be fine. I don't know why you couldn't do it.
We just don't usually cook tofu, so I'm not sure how that would work.
No. All right, well, Mike's getting questions. I just wanted to say, Katrina, Cheryl, Beatrice,
Wait,
how do you say her name?
Elvia.
Elvia.
Oh, I haven't seen you in a while, Elvia.
And College
Elvia.
Station, Texas. I didn't see the first, let's see, the first name. Donna. Thank you guys. I got all of your letters. Thank you so much. Got all of your help for the Bibles. Thank you very, very much for that. We are sending out Tons and tons of Bibles. I just today, if you have asked for a Bible, I just today got them in. We're selling them. We're not selling them. We're giving them away faster than I can keep them ordered.
Which is awesome.
Which is a great problem to have. But if you've asked for one, I will be shipping them out tomorrow.
So a couple people asking, the recipe is in the description and I'm sharing it in the comments periodically, but also somebody asked which book it's in. It's in Dining on a Dime Volume 2.
Pre-orders 30% off right now. Both books. Pre-orders 30% off right now until Thursday, July what?
9th, this Thursday.
Thursday, July 9th.
And the pre-order ones, the actual books won't come until September probably, but the ebook immediately comes to you. So you can have the ebook in the meantime while you're waiting for the print book.
Yep, so you can enjoy the ebook while the print book is on the slow boat from South Korea. Let's hope the boat doesn't capsize. Did you hear today? They were supposed to be shipping today, but...
Well, they haven't asked me to pay for the other half yet, so I'm sure they will.
So I guess they didn't ship today. Also, our planners for 2021...
You're celebrating the 4th of July.
Our planners from 2021 are also for sale. Look at this cool whisk I got today, guys.
That is really cool.
Is that not the coolest thing? I always have this thing where I use a whisk and I'm like, okay, it feels like I just have to whisk and whisk and whisk and whisk and whisk and still it doesn't get everything done. I'm wondering if this will take care of it. So I splurged and I spent $3 today. Is that okay?
$3? Where did you get it for $3?
World Market.
Wow. I figured that would have cost more.
I splurged. I was out of my berries tea, so I went to World Market to get some of my berries tea. Thank you, Mary, for the first box. All right.
Oh, thanks, everybody. A lot of people saying we'll miss you, but have a great break. Margaret says y'all need the break. You have so much going on. Just know you'll be missed.
Thanks.
Lots of other people with very similar things. So
we're not going to be not working. We're still going to be working. But we're just cutting the live shows to see if we can get caught up. We have so much stuff on our plate right now. And we do that. Cheryl, if you would like a Bible, just email us, editor at Living on a Dime. Go to livingonadime.com. At the top is a contact form. Click that contact form. Fill it out for the Bibles. There's one for Bibles. Give me your name and address. And we will mail you a Bible on us. No charge. Because we just want you to be able to have a Bible that you can read. It's a New Living Translation, so it's an easy to read version.
Very easy. I was reading a different version, but lately I switched back and I was thinking, I love this version.
Yeah.
So
it's my new favorite version.
Yeah, it's awesome. Jennifer, and a couple people, Jennifer, you may be the one that's already asked, but as far as international shipping rates, unfortunately, our post office just charges a lot. And
that's the actual shipping charges. We don't put anything on.
Yeah, we don't mark up the shipping at all.
So just order the ebook. You can order the ebook and print it out on your own printer.
Yeah, I think if we weren't in the U.S., unfortunately, we would probably feel like we needed to get the ebook because we wouldn't want to spend that much for shipping.
Yeah, you can just print it out on your own. Andrea, is Volume 2 Dining on a Dime the 20th anniversary? No. Volume 1 is what used to be the 20th anniversary edition, but we had to remove the family pictures and the story about how we were doing all the book and everything because it was just too big. Dining Volume 2 has all new recipes.
And Ariana's asking, is there a sample book? Not yet. We are going to ask them to send us one, but it will be slightly bigger than this picture.
So, no. The white...
Oh, no, slightly.
Okay, so see this white border here? The white border is... The color border is the edge of the book, basically. So, well, yeah. Well, okay. Hold on. Wait. This piece of paper is about the size of the book. Okay? This piece of paper is about the size of a book. The inside is 8 by 10. The outside cover is slightly larger because it has to cover the pages. So.
And oh yeah, right, okay. So let's see. Tara and Mike just want to say what an amazing ministry you have to be sending out Bibles to those who ask. Actually, we feel extra blessed to be able to do it.
Yes, and thank you for everyone who has sent to help us out, because it was a fairly significant amount that we do this out of our own pocket. And I'll be honest, we were having a few issues with it, and I told Mike, I said, you know what, let's just forget it. This isn't worth it. He's like, no, I really think we should do it. I'm like,
for which thing? Sorry.
Sending out Bibles. I'm like, I don't know if it's really worth it. And then we had some people donate and telling us how we've changed their lives because of some of the things that we've done and because of some of that. And I was like, you know what? Okay, we're going to keep doing that. So.
Oh, thank you. Is it Deck? We'll be praying for you the whole time. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay, so let me go back here to the things I was just looking to see. All right. Let's see, we answered that. Cindy, use your meatloaf and spaghetti sauce to make stuffed cabbage for dinner. Yummy. Cabbage was from my garden, and I love curry.
Yay!
And Lorna, did you already mention this? Because Lorna, a number of people discovered it.
Lorna, I'm so excited. Ordered my planner today. So we went ahead. Here's the back. Here's the front of the new 2020 planner. Right there. 2021 planner. 2021 planner. Here's the back right there. So we went ahead and got it done. You guys give Dave a great big thumbs up. He did the new planner cover. Did he not do a great job? He also did the new book covers. Did he not do a great job? My own person. See, Dad, that's what you do is you have kids and you turn them into employees.
Oh, poor things. That'll make them go get a job, won't it? Just kidding. Mary, what happened to the black ring bound books? We unfortunately we were having trouble all last year because it turns out that the book just really had too many pages for the ring binder anymore.
And we had to switch printers, and basically the new printer was like, you know, I can do it, but it's not gonna look good. It's not the best idea. And we were like, well, okay. So we completely switched. It's gonna be a hardcover similar to this, but this size. So this is the hardcover, but it's similar. It will be this size. It will lay flat. Has a nice bookmark in it. Really nice, pretty bookmark. They're supposed to be shipping them in the next day or two, and hopefully we're gonna see if we can get them to FedEx us one to show you guys. I don't know if they'll be able to, but we're gonna ask.
And if you're just joining us, we made chicken curry. It's totally done, right?
Yep.
We made chicken curry today, and the recipe is in the description.
Right here.
And it's also
in the description below.
It's in the new book we're talking about too.
There you go. Yum.
Yum.
You're
gonna make
double. All right.
Oh, Shannon just joined in.
Hey.
Valerie and Darlene say he did a great job. Yay, Dave. That's you.
Dave.
He's giving a thumbs up.
Marie got her Bible. Yay, Marie. I'm so glad.
All right. Let's see what else we had here. I forgot where we were. Is Volume 2 the 20th Anniversary Edition? No. Volume 1 is the book that was the 20th Anniversary Edition. And Volume 2 is all new. So
all new everything.
Yep.
Jasmine, you could probably use yogurt for the chicken curry if you wanted.
And a number of people, after you mentioned finding it in the Asian section, said various other ethnic sections too. So
yeah. There are other ethnic sections. Although I have found the Mexican section, the coconut milk does not seem to be as good as the Asian section. And Dollar Tree's coconut milk is a joke. So, and look at the different sections because the price varies significantly between the sections. So like the Asian section is actually a lot cheaper than the or the Asian section is more expensive than the Mexican section, but the Mexican section is watered down a lot more. So it doesn't have as much fat as the Asian section.
Whoa,
So
Dave, look at all these hashtag love for Dave's.
wow. You go, dude.
Ashley, I just bought 7 pounds of butter for $1.77 a pound. First time I've ever bought that much butter.
Guess what I'm doing in the morning? So you guys will see the video probably early next week or late this week, but I am doing a big grocery haul. They have butter and they have grapes and cheese and a couple of other things on sale at Kroger, and then I'm doing a great big stock up because people are just going crazy in the world. And Mike was like, you know, I think maybe we should stock up a little bit more on our toilet paper and that kind of thing. So every time we go to the store, we always pick up a thing of toilet paper. And so you guys are going to see that video coming up. Yes, we are taking a break, Janice. Wednesday, we will have a live show, and after that, it will be August or September before we come back. We have not found a house yet. Ellie and I ran down Friday to look at one. Looked like it was a really big contender. Had the realtor on standby. He was leaving the next day for vacation, but said, nope, I'll come down if it's good. Got down there, and it was right on a main road. We thought the trees would keep it from being so loud, but it was like sitting next to the highway. So knocked that one off the list. Today, well, as soon as the books ship, we will have about 4 weeks before they get here, give or take. But the problem is now it's pretty much too late for us to find something before the books get here. They're going to be shipping in the next day or so. So now, what are we doing? I don't know what we're going to do. So we're still looking for a house, but we're not in a big hurry anymore. So
I think Tara was hoping we could do it before the other books come in, but just it was fairly complex trying to find the specific thing there. So
our biggest problem is internet. We just can't find any houses with internet or HOAs. We really don't want another HOA. We are sick of having HOA payments for nothing, basically. So yeah. So that's why I'm going to do another big stock up, because if we're here for another 6 months, here's the thing, guys. If we're here for another 6 months, I don't think things are going to get better. I think they're just going to keep going downhill. Even if in November we have a good turnout and Trump gets reelected, like we hope he will. I know.
Well, I think
Here's the thing. If Trump gets reelected, the other side is going to be really ticked off and everything's going to go to pot anyway. If he doesn't get reelected, we're going to end up like Venezuela. So, here's the thing. We're thinking, why not just get prepared, and then at least you'll be prepared for the next year or so. So I would, if you have the extra money, I would, here's the thing, just get stuff that you normally stock up on anyway. Sorry, you haven't hit a lot of delete.
no, but I'm just like,
here's the thing.
I'm just
Just-
SMH is all I'm saying.
Just stock up on things that you normally use. I'm just getting things like dishwasher soap and Q-tips and toothpaste and bleach and, flour and sugar, and it's just stuff we normally use. So it's not that big of a deal. I can spend the grocery money all at once now, or I can spend it over the next year. It doesn't really matter. So not for us, because we have because we have enough. So,
So for those who don't know about HOA, HOA in the United States is called a homeowners association, and it's kind of like a taxing entity that that has all these rules that you agree to when you buy your house that say you can't park certain kinds of vehicles there.
like you can't park RVs in front of your house.
You can't have a vehicle up on blocks in front of your house, and all sorts of other things.
Can't paint your house. You can only paint your house certain colors. You can't have a bunch of junk in your yard. You have to keep your yard mowed. You have to keep the weeds. It can be good in that it keeps property it keeps property values high from slummy people who don't want to keep up their property. But like with our HOA, they don't really enforce half the rules that they have for it. So it's kind of frustrating that you're paying this money for supposedly these things that they're supposed to be taking care of, and they're not doing it. So that's why we're trying to find one without it. Shelly, Ellie is still selling the goat milk cream and soaps, but the problem is she's sold out. We cannot get the ingredients until August at least. So, yeah. Music Mad, is that the fee that you pay to not be allowed to do anything to your property? Pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. You have to get approval if you want to put a shed up. You have to get approval if you want to paint your house. You have to get, approval if you put a new roof on. It's absolutely ridiculous. But here in Colorado, 90% of the houses are in an HOA because they try to keep property values high. So...
Well, and when we were in Kansas, we were in a neighborhood that didn't have one out in the country, and we really liked it for the most part. But there was one house that had broken down cars on blocks with giant weeds around them all the way out to the street from the house. And when we went to sell the house, all the people that came to look at it had to drive past that house on the way there.
And everybody who didn't make an offer said they loved the house, but that was the reason why. So it can be a good thing. But I don't know.
Alrighty. Jennifer says, thanks for the ebook suggestions. We don't even think of those things. Yeah. Actually, it's funny.
Yeah.
We used to do, when Tawra was doing the soap show, we bought this little iPad mini for the show, but we no longer use it for that. And it's just kind of sitting around. And I realized, hey, I can look at ebooks on this thing. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
All right. I have really enjoyed the videos Jill and Tawra made. They're wonderful to listen to. Thanks for working so hard on this.
Yay! We have more coming from Mom.
And the 12-week stock up. So that would be how far back? Because somebody else said that Louise said, I've been following the 12-week stock up $5 plan you posted a few weeks ago.
Yay!
Some other people are wondering where that is. So if you go to youtube.com, YouTube, and then just search Living on a Dime.
Yeah, go to livingonadime.com. It was about 3 weeks ago, and it is stock up for $5, and there's the free printable list and everything there on our website.
On our site. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Livingonadime.com.
Oh, that was
stock up for $5 a week, I think is what it's called. Michelle says, you need to be like Joseph and prepare 7 years of good and 7 years of lean. Yeah. I mean, we're having good right now. And so if you have the money, I would stock up. I mean, we've been preaching this for years, but we're really preaching it now, guys. I really don't think it's going to get any better, no matter what. I mean, the economy was doing great, but now all these people are doing everything they can to keep it tanked. So, you know, it's a satanic thing, but what do you do? You get prepared. As a Christian, you fight, you know.
For me, I think it's good for us to buy supplies and be prepared, but because of the way that we live, really the worst of times have never
been bad for us.
If we didn't know because of news or other people telling us, we wouldn't necessarily have even known in the worst of times. It's just because if you keep a stockpile of things and you don't overspend your cash and all that, then when bad times happen, you can weather it with that.
I mean, we had a time where Mike was unemployed for like 9 months. We had moves where we moved and he didn't have a job, and we had to live without a job for a few months until he got something. 2 or 3 recessions we've lived through, supposed recessions. Really, we noticed nothing. And really, we noticed the majority of America really didn't have it that hard. It really wasn't that big of a deal. Yeah, you know, some people I get lost their money in the stock market and that kind of thing, but everyday living, they were still going out to eat. They were still buying new cars. You know, it really wasn't that bad. So now that things are kind of turning south, you know, it could get bad. It could turn into a depression only because, you know.
But the good news is if you're prepared, it probably would be a lot less bad for you. We've actually always been prepared for something really heavy. But, you know, people talked about the Great Recession from 2008 till whenever. And here in Colorado, when we moved back here, people were just losing their houses all over the place. But what we noticed is there were still a lot of big car payments and a lot of $300 cable bills and a lot of phones and things. And so for us, we were thinking it must not be that bad yet, because if it were, I think people eventually would say, man, I'm really desperate. What can I do? And it was a little strange to see some people would lose the house rather than the car and the phone and the cable.
Well, and the houses that were lost, like a lot of people. Guys, we were in this business in 2008 when it happened. So we got all the emails and everything, all the sob stories. And as I was talking to these people, they over borrowed. It was their own darn tootin' fault for buying a house that they couldn't afford. That's why you don't do that. Do you know, we qualify for a ridiculously stinking high loan for the next house. Ridiculously stinking high. There's no way we would borrow as much money as we're allowed to borrow from the bank. Why? Because if something happens, we want to be prepared by not being in over our head with a house payment. That's why we don't buy new cars with car payments. That's why we have never had car payments. Well, okay, we had one $2,500 car payment on our credit card. But we paid that off in like 3 or 4 months. So that's why you get prepared for these things and you don't overspend in the first place. So, yeah.
If you downloaded like one of the printables and it didn't look right to you, you might check your PDF reader. The ebooks are PDFs and the printables are PDFs, and most of the time if people have an issue, it's either they have an old PDF reader or one that doesn't like very many files. But Adobe Reader, it should work for everything, and if it doesn't, check and make sure it's not a really old version.
Yep. Okay, so wants will come and go, needs are things that are consistent in our lives. Yeah, I mean that's exactly it. People are doing their wants because, you know, I work hard so I deserve it. Well, you don't deserve nothing. People have been working hard since time began 6,000 years ago with Adam and Eve. They have been working hard. Why do you think you're the first person that works hard and deserves things? We're the first society or not society, but we're probably the last, I would say, probably starting around the 60s or 70s, probably around the 60s. Is when this whole I deserve it thing really started. And then in the 80s, it really blew up. But, you know, my grandparents never said, well, I'm putting my vacation on my credit card because I deserve a vacation. They never said that. You never heard anybody say that. That's only a really recent thing. So just because you want it doesn't mean you need it. So
Susan says, don't forget to stock up for your pets. Yes, if you have pets, be sure you get enough for them as well.
Yep. So,
a couple people were having some sort of trouble with recent orders. And if you are, just contact us. You go to livingonadime.com and click contact.
Yeah. If you have a problem with an order, click contact livingonadime.com. My assistant Janelle will take care of the majority orders. What she can't, then I will help with that also. Also, Dave and Mike are not going to be doing shows. We are taking a break from the live shows.
Like completely.
Completely. I will pop in and do a 30-second short video here and there. And we're going to do some short videos. But we are taking a live show break. Wednesday we will have a live show. And then after that we won't be back until August or possibly September.
Oh, somebody asked a question. There was, where was it? There was another thing that I saw. Oh, something I thought we needed to answer, but I didn't see.
Ooh, somebody said that they like the Bible because they can actually read it. That's why we like the New Living Translation. Because it is easy to read. It's in a translation that most people can understand nowadays.
So the suck up thing was a few shows back. Tawra did a show about how to stock up with $5 a week for 12 weeks.
Yeah.
And so if you go to livingondime.com and just look back a little bit on our posts, you'll find that. There was, I'm trying to find the one I was looking for. Yeah, okay, well, I don't see it. So I guess let's just go here. Let's see what else we have here.
And well, never mind.
Okay.
Everyone needs, Ruth, everyone needs a vacation from the public. Have to, or you can't keep going. Yes, here's the thing. Why, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. Here's the thing. I do not understand why no one has any manners anymore at all. You can't say anything without people getting mad at you and being nasty and being mean. If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. I put on Facebook a picture of some cute kitchen cabinets in a house that I saw. I put them on there. It was something different that you could recycle the cabinets you already had. And I said, what a cute little kitchen. It had blue and white cabinets. It was just cute. I just thought it was cute. I got comment after comment. Well, I think that's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Well, why would you put those white border on that cabinet? Well, that just looks like they took old cabinets and painted them. I don't care if you agree with me or not. This is my opinion and this is my show. If you don't like it, go away. Everybody is allowed to have their own opinion. 9 times out of 10, I don't ask you what your opinion is because you know what? I don't really care what it is. You can have your opinion. That's fine. It doesn't mean you need to share it with everyone. And let me tell you, if you do decide you need to share it with everyone, be nice about it.
Well, and we disagree with a lot of people on a lot of things, but most of the time it's not really necessary to really get in their face about it.
No, you don't need to say anything at all. I don't care who you're voting for president. But for you to sit there and tell me that I can't have an opinion about who I think should be president, go away if you don't like it. That is why we have the voting system we have in America. Because we can all have an opinion. But that doesn't mean that you need to go around slamming everyone because of it.
Or just beating up people that don't agree with you and all bullying people that don't agree with you. That's the thing that we really notice is, and I try on Facebook not to share anything. There's a lot of stuff that I even agree with, but I just think it shouldn't. We should be able to respect each other.
And somebody
And
said,
disagree, yes. But some people think if you don't agree with me, even though I've been your friend for 10 years, I would just as soon knife you and leave you dead in the street.
pretty much.
And I think if that's the way you are with politics, you really need to get your head examined.
But if you're that way with anything, we are looking at houses right now that we never dreamed we would be able to afford. And God has blessed us beyond our imaginations. That we are even able to do this. And yet, we have person after person after person say, well, that's not living on a dime. You're a bunch of hypocrites. You're not practicing what you're preaching. I have practiced what I preach for 20 years. 25 years.
But
I have worked my butt off buying 25-cent bread, $500 cars, and not going out to eat. Don't you dare sit there and tell me I am not practicing what I'm preaching. Because I can afford a nice house after working 25 years of not having student loans, not having credit card debt, not having car payments. And this is more than trolls. These are people who have been watching us for years. And I'm only saying this. I'm not talking about the trolls, but I am saying this because you, if this is you, you need to stop being a victim. Get a hold of your finances. Stop wasting money on a bunch of junk you don't need. And start getting your life in order now and stop blaming everybody but yourself. I got news for you. If you are having financial problems, it is not Trump's fault. If you are having financial problems, it is not Obama's fault. It is your fault.
because we've been able to persevere through all of them.
All of them. We've gone through 2 or 3 recessions. We've gone through I don't know how many layoffs and unemployment. We have gone through sickness. One year we spent $30,000 on medical bills for my son and I. And yes, I am lecturing. And no, I am not being a judgmental twit either. You guys email me your sob stories.
What I think is funny is people that aren't involved, instead of saying, I don't really like you, I'm leaving, have to tell you that they think you're judgmental, which is kind of narcissistic if you think about it.
I am not being judgmental. I am telling you what you need to do to get your butt out of debt and get your finances in order. And if you don't like it, go away and wallow in your misery. I don't care.
Because we're here to help.
I'm here trying to help you. But my word, if you can't say anything nice, shut your mouth and don't say anything at all. Parents need to be teaching that to their kids more than ever.
One thing I would say, you're done with that part, right?
Yes.
is when people say, well, oh my, that doesn't look like you're living on a dime. That tells me you are in a life that you don't like, and you like it. You like being in misery. And the reason I say that is because when all people can say is something negative, particularly on something like that, what they're basically saying is, you guys lived on a dime for a lot of years, and you still do, but sometimes you actually spend a little money now because you made such good choices that you can. But I don't think I can do that, so instead of taking a lot of days in a row of doing the right thing, I'm just going to criticize other people, and then I'll feel like it's okay. There are a lot of things that I think people do that with, where you just say, I can't do that because ... And if that's you, you need to change, or you will always be miserable.
And you know the only reason why we keep doing this is because of Alice. You saved my life. If it wasn't for this channel, I'd be out on the street. That is why we keep doing this, because we know that there are people like Alice who need help, and we are willing to help you.
So
yeah.
Hope says, delete the problem people, but don't leave us.
Oh, I do. I ban people. So I go through and I just ban people who leave negative comments. If they have been a longtime viewer or not, there are people who have been subscribed to us for 5 and 6 years, and if they're nasty, I will ban them. And I do. I just ban everyone. But the thing is, people need a wake-up call. You are not a victim. I was talking to a friend.
And if you feel like saying in the comments, I didn't join to hear this, I joined for something else,
Go away.
Leave.
And don't let the door hit you on the way out.
You are who we're talking to.
You are the person we're talking to.
Go away.
I was talking to a friend who is an immigrant to this country from Iran today. The stuff they have had to put up with to come to this country, to have a better life, to not get killed because of their Christian faith. And yet you call yourself a Christian and you support causes like BLM? That is a terrorist organization. I have no patience for that. There are people who are literally dying to come into this country. Literally dying to come into this country so they can have a better lives for them and their family. And you're out there just destroying it. I'm not saying you are, but people are out there just destroying it, and no one is standing up. No one is saying, stop giving in to your fear over a stupid virus. Stop it. We are not, if you are a Christian, you are called to not be afraid. God is taking care of you. When are you going to believe what he says? Period. But heaven forbid I give that comment. Because do you know how many people are going to say, so-and-so died, my so-and-so, I get it. It's bad. Don't be stupid. Wash your hands. But the facts are, let me show you the facts. The facts are, cases does not equal deaths. So let me show you this right here. Let me just show you this real quick. It is time you stopped listening to the media. You started looking things up for yourself. You started fighting things like, why are we not allowed to sing in church now in California? But we can go protest and tear down all this stuff and destroy all this stuff. Why? Oh, now my thing isn't coming up. figures. But guys, it may be spiking for the cases, but the deaths aren't. They're staying completely flat. Why there are people who are terrified and absolutely scared to death for no reason. You shouldn't be that way. Well, now my chart isn't coming up, but look it up for yourselves. The chart, I looked up Florida.
This
I
is
looked
on
up,
Google.
Yeah,
so
this
it's
is
not like
on Google.
So it's not like it's...
I looked up Texas. I looked up California. I looked up Florida. I looked up our state, Colorado. I looked up Mom's state in Kansas where they're mandating masks. The cases are spiking, yes. But they started spiking more than 2 weeks ago, and guess what? The deaths are staying the same. They're staying the same. 2 weeks later, 2 weeks should be enough time for those deaths to be going up by now. I'm not saying don't be stupid, but to live in fear and to sit there and choose someone out like me because I actually look at the data and I go by what the data says instead of listening to the news, which is lying to you. You'll notice the news isn't telling you that the deaths are staying the same or going down. A lot of places they're going down.
Well, I mentioned that I worked in the news, or not news, television for a long time, close to news, and I absolutely despise news for that reason. But I can tell you, when you hear the report, think about what they're saying, and then think about what they're not saying, because that really, it should tell you, it's a marketing. I mean, it's, you know, again, as Tawra said, it's clear that, you know, it can be serious. But at the same time, the news is not telling you the story. The news is marketing a product to you. And they're going to spin it in the way that's the most frightening because that's what they found people watch. People don't like shows about kittens and puppies. They like shows about tragedy that they're wanting to try to avoid in their lives. And so, you know what? I'm sorry. If you have had someone that's been affected by this or has died from this, I truly am sorry. I know, I get it. But you can't live in constant fear, and you certainly don't have a right to go and chew people out because I'm going to the grocery store without a mask. If you don't want to wear a mask, that's fine. Or if you want to wear a mask, that's fine. That's totally fine. But this spirit of fear is from Satan. And if you are a Christian, I'm talking to Christians. If you are a Christian, you're either going to believe God is going to take care of you or you're not. Period. Period. You're either going to believe him or not. And when you're living in a spirit of fear, you're saying, God, I don't believe you're going to take care of me. And the funny thing is, I hear Tawra say this. I can say I have worried about those things in the past when I was a Christian. So when she says that, don't take that as Tawra is attacking me. Take that as, can I grow through this somehow? Because the thing with God is if we can look to him and say, show me where I'm wrong. Show me where I need to step closer to you and walk with you more. Instead of saying, this person, I think they're attacking me. You can grow in a great way.
I'm not attacking you. I'm trying to wake you up.
No.
And I'm sorry. I truly am sorry if you're taking that way.
Actually, I don't see a lot
But
of people are.
Really, we have to have a wake-up call. As Christians, we have to have a wake-up call. It is time to stand up and say, Jesus is coming soon. You need to get ready. If you don't know Christ, you need to get ready. All of this is predicted in the Bible. This is not anything new to Christians who read their Bible and understand their Bible and have listened to good Bible-based preachers. No, this is happening. Jesus will be coming back soon. And I'll be honest, I don't wonder if it's not going to happen in the next 5 years. I mean, things are going so incredibly fast. It's unbelievable. If you would have said in January, you can't go to church and sing, would you have even...
I was just telling Tawra
Mike would have
today.
never. He said, I would have never believed it.
Well, yeah, I just...
Never. You have to wear a mask or you can't go into the grocery store. Are you kidding me? And now they're talking about how you're going to have to be vaccinated or you're not going to be able to go to school or you're not going to be able to go to work. Really? The Bible talks about this. It's very interesting.
But we're not anti-vaccine people, by the way, but just...
No.
It's what we are. We're anti-government forcing you to do things, people.
Vaccines are good if it's a bad
Vaccines are good if they're used correctly and if they're used in a way. I mean, smallpox has basically all been eradicated. But guys, you got to get ready. And I was talking to a non-Christian friend the other day, visiting, and she said, you know what? She said, I've been stocking up. She said, you told me that the Bible, she doesn't even believe. She's not a Christian. And she said, you told me this is going to be happening and I'm stocking up. And I was like, yeah, you guys don't know how bad after the rapture of the church, after the church goes up to be with Christ, you guys don't know how bad it's going to get. It's going to be bad. It's going to be really bad. And it's only because we love you guys and we don't want to have to see you go through that, you know? And so you can choose heaven or you can choose hell. But there is both. And, you know, if you guys have questions, please feel free to email us. We give away Bibles to whoever wants a Bible. We will give you one. On us, no charge. We will send you a Bible. Now, every time I get on my high horse like that, I usually run out of Bibles. So if there's a delay in shipping it, please be patient while I get some more ordered. But we will send you a Bible. Just go to Living on a Dime, click on the contact form. There's one for Bibles. Just give us your name and your mailing address and we will be more than happy to send you a Bible. But guys, you got to get ready. You got to get ready.
One thing I would say, because there were a couple people that I think were wondering, some of these things, I think a lot of people see this, but some people don't. Right now, there's a lot of manipulation in media and social media and other things. And so there are situations that are important, but the way that they're being spun is a counterfeit. So for instance, yes, this virus is a virus, people die. And it's good to be thoughtful and cautious about that. But the media and social media have gone so far beyond that I think everyone's confused. And that's really a problem you need to be kind of cautious of. Or Tawra mentioned earlier BLM. The truth is, Black Lives Matter. Everybody's lives matter. And Black Lives Matter too. Because that's part of everybody. But
$50 for Barbara Paul
groups take up a banner, and it's not necessarily, they're not actually helping the people they claim to be helping. And that's,
well, that
there's
same
so
group,
much stuff like right now, like unfortunately, I think I'm about to hit a beehive here. The Bible talks about justice, and God is a God of justice. Justice for the poor and the oppressed and the outcast and the foreigners living among you. And the Bible says that every tribe and nation and tongue will be there in heaven because God loves everyone that he's created. But there are many who, where was I going with that? Oh yeah. So God is a God of justice. But more recently, people have kind of come up with the phrase social justice. And if you are familiar with that phrase, I might encourage you to think, what does it really mean? Because justice is justice. Justice is from God, and it's good, and we should all desire justice. And justice is, like I said, for everyone, but especially for the weak and the oppressed and the downcast and all those people. But social justice has become more of a tool that people use to manipulate other people. So again, it's a situation where something that's good is rebranded in a way that it's pretend like it's actually the good thing, but it's there to pull you away from that. So I would encourage you, if you hear new words and phrases that people come up with like that, to think, why do we need a new word to explain justice? Justice, everyone should have good treatment from other people.
We are the human race.
Everyone should have good treatment from other people. It is true that we are the human race. According to God, we are all one race. But we are different cultures and different colors and different traditions and histories, and that's beautiful. And God made us that way on purpose. It would be like, what if all the flowers in the field were one color? It would just not be pretty at all. And so instead of getting riled up in key phrases and things, especially if the media throws it around, you know it's probably going off the rails. That these things are important, and many of you probably have good heart, but have heard those terms and just kind of gone with it because you heard them, not realizing that not everyone that uses that is actually concerned about the well-being of people. So that's why I have to say, working in working in TV and seeing a lot of news, I was just horrified at how much manipulation there is out there. And it's not just news. It's in universities, and I'm not saying all universities and all professors, but I'm just saying there's a culture in the universities that's not necessarily about what they're supposed to be about. And those things, you need to be shrewd and look at the reality of things. Like I've worked with a lot of people who were really not aligned with me politically. And yet, I didn't generally talk politics with them, but I did talk about life with them. And I realized we had similar ideas about what's right. It's just that for various reasons, we had come to an understanding that the solution to these was for different reasons. And so I think I would encourage you too, if you have people that disagree with you, try to get with them on a personal, human level instead of on a sound bites in the media or Facebook posts level. And I think a lot of change could happen for the good.
Thank you, Barbara and Agatha, for the Bible money. We will use that. For all of you who have sent us money for Bibles, we really appreciate it. It comes out of our own pocket, so we really appreciate the help. If you want a Bible, we will send you an easy to read New Living Translation. If I run out and it's a week or so before I can get it shipped, please just be patient. We are shipping Bibles out as fast as we are shipping cookbooks almost. Or as fast as we were shipping cookbooks. Just hit the contact at the top of livingonadime.com. Give us your name and your address, and we will send you a Bible on us, no charge. Guys, here's the thing. We are Bible-believing Christians. We believe that if you call on the name of Jesus, you will be saved. It does not matter what you have done. It does not matter what sin you have committed. It doesn't matter how good you are. You cannot be good enough to go to heaven. Being good enough is not going to get you to heaven. You have to have faith that Jesus died on the cross, rose again, and is in heaven. And he has forgiven you of your sins. And all you have to do is believe that he died and rose again. Admit that you're a sinner. Because we all are. None of us, not one person on earth can't say that they're not a sinner. And you have to just pray and say, Jesus, I give my life to you. I am so sorry for my sin. Thank you for dying for me. I want to be yours. That's all you have to do. But here's the thing. As Christians, we have to start standing up and saying, Jesus is the way. We have to start standing up and showing people that going around destroying everything is not the answer. Hating each other because of who we vote for is not the answer. And as Christians, it is our job to be the light in a very, very dark world that is getting darker every day. And it's getting dark because Satan is fighting tooth and nail to hang on to his very last moments. Because there is a hell and he is going to be cast into it. But if you don't believe on Jesus, you will also. You cannot be a good person and just get into heaven because none of us are good enough. None of us are good enough. The only way you can get there is to admit you're a sinner and believe that Jesus died and rose again and ask him to come into your life and save you. And that's all you have to do. All right. Didn't mean for it to go that way today. But here's the thing, guys. You need to love all people, period. And as Christians, we're to show our love to those people. And as we get closer, the Bible says that Christ is going to come back for the church and the Christians are going to be taken up to heaven with him. And there's going to be 7 years of tribulation left on the earth where Satan is going to be set free to do his worst. And it's going to be bad. So if one day a bunch of people just disappeared, that's what happened. And I told Ellie, I said, it's going to be freaky. All the airplanes that have Christian pilots, they can stay on autopilot, but they're going to have to land sometime. You know, all these buses with Christian, it's going to be total chaos and bedlam. It's going to be total chaos and bedlam. And as Christians, the Bible tells us these things are happening, and it's happening right before our eyes. I mean, it really is. It's absolutely crazy. And it's exciting seeing how all this is going to happen. I mean, we could be in heaven any day now, or it could be 10 or 15 years. Who knows? But the thing is, you need to get ready. So, anyway. Yeah.
Well, I guess
Rosemary has some amazing things she's been saying, but the last one is, I've been discriminated more than other minorities, or more from other minorities than whites, and I am a woman of color. I hate racism, sexism, ageism, and all the isms. Segregation is not the way to unity. And that's the thing.
We've heard that from more of our
but especially,
friends.
I mean, I think everyone needs to think this, but especially the Christians. If you think that some people, it's us against them and we need to not like those people and those people need it, then you're not in the right place. And it is the unity, and it's from the enemy. Division and confusion and fear all come from the devil, the enemy of your soul, who wants to destroy you. And so, even if you're well intentioned, you need to put down your weapon and, see how we can be kind to other people. And I say that knowing that a lot of people that I know share political ideas that sometimes I agree with, but the way they go with them is just right off the cliff. And the same thing with a lot of people say they're Christian and they go out and do terrible things. Somebody here was saying that she was told by a church after her divorce that she was a sinner and all this.
Well, you are a sinner. We're all sinners. But
And-
just because you're divorced doesn't mean that you're any worse of a sinner than anyone else.
But it was a condemning kind of way. The thing
No.
is, we're all sinners.
That
and
church
God-
is wrong.
We're
That church.
all-
That's what happened to us growing up. That's what the church did to my mom. Go watch our Penny Pinching Mama
That's
series.
and
That's not right.
Well, and thankfully, I think she realized that wasn't right. But some people don't know that's right. Some people think that's what the church is supposed
No.
to be, and it's not. And those people will be called to account for that treat you that way. The Bible says, "To whom much is given, much is wait." Does it say that? Suddenly, I'm wondering: am I quoting the Bible or am I quoting Spider-Man? The Bible says that people will be
They'll be judged for things for doing
according
those
to
things. Yeah.
people will be judged according to what they've been given. So if you're a pastor and you're at your church and you're just quietly being a nice person and you're not telling people what God has done for them and how alone and separated they are and how they can come and be saved and have a joyful existence and live forever with Him, you're failing as a pastor, and you will be judged on a higher standard than other people because you're in a position. It's the same thing like with law enforcement. I absolutely love law enforcement as a whole. There are some people there that aren't, shouldn't be there.
Well, in every group.
But I do think that law enforcement, in a perfect world, law enforcement should be held at a higher standard. Unfortunately, there's so much confusion about everything that's really difficult if you're in the position of having to decide what is the circumstance here. But the thing is, people that are in charge of leading people or governing people or policing people or any kind of leadership need to be accountable on a higher level. And so if you're a Christian and you're treating people poorly and beating people up with your Bible, you're on the wrong team and you just don't know it. And the Bible says, in the last days, many will come to me saying, didn't I feed the poor and didn't I do these things? And I will say, Jesus said, I will say, I never knew you. Depart from me. And that's, if you think you're a Christian and you beat up other people, that's a scary future you're looking to there. So anyway, I don't mean to end on a dark note, but just saying, hey, whether or not you're a Christian, we should all be kind and try to just don't watch the news, don't read the social media, and get to know people individually, personally. So that's all I gotta say about that.
Okay. So for
But not
those of
you.
you guys wondering why I'm eating, if I don't eat, I get low blood sugar and I get really, really sick, and I started feeling myself getting lightheaded. So I wanted to eat something so that I didn't just pass out here on the show. Of course, then maybe we could have a revival prayer meeting then. But that's why I'm eating, in case you guys are wondering.
All right.
Thank you, Marilyn, for the Bible money. We really appreciate you helping us out with that. We really appreciate it. If you want a Bible, click the contact page and click the Bible thing, and we will send you one
So Nancy,
on us free.
Nancy has a question that I would like to address. If family members tell you if you talk about God, they will cut off contact, will you stop talking about God for the sake of family, please? Okay, here's the thing. If it's you at your house or you in your own life, I would not stop talking about God because I love him and we're commanded not to forsake him. But if I go to their house and they say, I don't really want to hear it while you're here, I will respect that, thinking that first of all, they should have their space. But secondly, if you respect that, later they may eventually say, hey, I noticed that in this particular tough time, you handled that with such grace, and I just can't seem to get it together, and I'm wondering what is it in you? And if you respect their space when they ask you for it, then that opportunity might come up later. But ultimately, they have to make their own decisions, and so some people really want to try to save all their family who are not interested right now, and it is
Do more praying than saying.
yeah.
I just came up with that just right now.
The thing is, it's not helpful to push people. I mean, it's helpful to ask people questions when you see they're hurting and they want the answer but they're afraid. But if they're just like, I just don't want this at all, then it's not really helpful to just, because we know some people who just beat everybody to death with the good news, even though the people don't want it. And so if it's, I wouldn't be quiet in your own sphere, because you shouldn't have to. That's the stepping on your boundary. But if you go to their house or into their sphere, that's why I don't like to really get into. Well, I talk about God on Facebook, and if people can hide me if they don't want to see that. But I don't get into. I don't make fighting statements, and I never really make the political statements there because I think I'd rather talk to you about that in person, and on Facebook, just too many things can be misunderstood, and in that sense, in a way, you're kind of putting that in their space. So that's a long way of saying I would tell people the truth. I would share. I would be everything you want to be at in your sphere. But if you go to their house and they say we really don't want to talk about that here, I would be respectful of it.
But I will say an addendum to that. If something happens, so like let's say you're with non-Christian family and you're in a really bad car accident and you should have been dead, I will say, we were in this horrible car accident. I am just so thankful God saved me from dying in that car accident. I give credit to God even at their house, but don't just keep going on and on. So something would be like, well, I just don't understand how you were able to get such a good job like that because I've been looking and looking, I can't do it. And you can say, you know what? I don't know, but I know that I have been praying and God answered my prayer and I'm just thankful to him that he gave me that job. Or I am just thankful that my prayers were answered and my son or daughter or spouse or whatever was healed. Or so-and-so died and I am just so thankful they are in heaven singing with Jesus and I am happy about that they were able to meet Jesus. But you don't just keep going on and going on and going on and harping.
Yep, that's beautiful. Yeah, I'm happy to share and talk about Jesus, but there are certain people I would temper it in their space. And sometimes people will ask you or say something like Tawra said, and I'm not at all afraid to share, but some people, I know I personally, before I came to Christ, I was very resistant, and some people pushed a little too much, some of that ended up helping me in the end, but some of that may have pushed me away longer. But eventually God brought me to the place where he wants me, and he will bring people. I mean, people still have the ability to say no. And
It's your
ultimately,
choice. Yeah.
ultimately, some people are going to say no, and that's totally their choice. But some people, eventually God will lead them to that. And I was one of those people. And for that, it helps to have a measure of grace. To want to be truthful and have grace. Although I have to say, lately we're finding there are a lot of Christians we know that have the grace, but don't really want to tell the truth because they don't want to offend people. And I think that's unfortunate. So anyway, we're really glad you guys have come.
All right, so we are going to, I'm going to have Michael pray.
You're going to have me pray?
Please visit us at livingonadime.com. In case you guys missed it, our cookbooks are 30% off right now till Thursday. Just for all of you who missed it.
Did you? I didn't know if you had seen the.
Yes.
Did you already mention?
Yes, I said thank you to all of them.
Yes, thank you everyone for
Did you say thank
the
you
Bible
for
Super
the
Chats.
And
group
guys,
hug and
our
kiss?
2020 planner is also for sale. If you guys, I'm only saying these things because the sale ends Thursday, so I don't want people to email me. Rosemary, thank you. She gave us a $2 super chat for hugs and kisses.
Aww.
Oh, here, brotherly
She's-
hug, brotherly kiss. Aw, thanks, Katrina.
Only some people get that joke.
Yes.
All
All
right.
right.
Oh, whoops. Yay. All right. Thank you. So, Father, thank you for bringing all of these people, all of our friends here into this sphere. And thank you for bringing those people that you want to bring here now. And thank you for blessing us richly in our family and with all of these people that have come around, and that many that we like to call friends. And thank you for all the blessings you've given us and for paying the price for us so that we didn't have to struggle to be good enough, but that you loved us anyway, and now you're refining us and making us better. And for all those out there who want to know you but don't, give them insight and understanding and bring them close to you and love them. Let them know how much you love them. And for those who don't know you, Lord, bless them where they are, but bring them closer to you. Help them understand. And I know your word says that you bring the rain upon everyone, those who know you and those who don't. But ultimately, we need to come to you to have that relationship with you, to have eternity with you. And I ask that you please reach all those who are unsure, unclear, who don't know they need you, and bring them. And for those who do know you, help us to know you with a richer and deeper understanding of your amazing, limitless power and majesty and grace. And Father, we ask as everybody goes tonight that you just touch each of us in the way that you know that we need in this time, and bring peace and quiet and take away people's anxiety and bring joy and overcome all of the angry, bitter, nasty messages that people are hearing, and let them hear your voice instead. And we ask this all in the name of your precious Son, Jesus.
Amen.
Thank you so much for joining us, everyone.
Thank you, SC. All right, guys.
Wow.
Please visit us at livingonadime.com. If you would like a Bible, once again, click the contact at livingonadime.com and fill in the Bible request. Please be patient if we don't get it sent right away. We are sending out a lot of Bibles. I can't keep ordering quick enough. I keep ordering double every time, and I just keep giving them away as fast as I double my order. So we will be back on Wednesday. Thank you so much. And please know that we do love you.
And go forth and be blessed.
In the
May
name
God
of
bless
Jesus.
You. Yes.
And if you are fighting Satan, you're a Christian and you are fighting Satan because he is trying to get everybody. You know what? You turn on the worship music and you sing as loud as you can and you start quoting Bible verses out loud. And that is how you fight all the demons in hell.
He fights them for you.
Yep.
You just have to watch.
Thanks, SC. We appreciate that. Guys, we are able to send out a
$25.
ton of Bibles. Thank you so much.
Yep. Thanks again, everybody.
LivingOnADime.com. We'll see you guys on Wednesday.
Bye.